So guys, actually what we have discussed in earlier sessions, so how to create a ATF for related list, how to open a record by using a related list. So we have seen how to open a uh, record from related list by applying a filters, right? So now what we have done in previously, so I have given an exercises like open a record from list view. So from the existing records. So if you guys have done that, that will be good for that. So till here we have done in our previous session. So now we'll run the test and what else we need to uh, take care of. We'll see now. So it was opening a module, change module. Then it was filling the details, I mean, field values. As we have a dependent fields on assignment group and assign to, we have given double steps like fill the field values. So basically, wherever the dependencies came, guys, please keep on this mind. Like we need to give twice that step. I mean, even though fill the field values, I mean set the field values will work out. So coming to the dependent values, whatever the main dependent is there, for example, categories depend on subcategory. So in the first step you need to give a category, and in second step you need to give a subcategory, right? Likewise you need to uh, go through the dependent values, guys. So if you are not giving the dependent values, it might fail, guys. Why? Because for example, if you can see here, assignment group is change management. There are only limited members in assignment group. So ATF doesn't know that limited members. It will pick anywhere. So for example, in change management, there is only four members are there. It doesn't know all the four members are available. So it needs a break, right? It needs the window. Once the step has been executed, then only it will get to know that we have used this particular field or something else. Then in second step you need to give assign to, because of it was a dependency on assignment group, right? So make sure this is don't confuse on this step, guys. So if you are stucking somewhere, like you will get an error like uh, it was not able to set the value, then that means you have given something, dependent value on together, on a form together. So to avoid this things, so first of all you need to know the manual flow. Keep your manual flow handy, then only you will open your ATF. So now it's time for applying filters. This is the most important thing, guys. So there is, we have applied a filter for this thing. So earlier we have a two records. Now it was came as an one record, right? So now what happens? So we are try to open the same record from here, guys, right? So it will open the record. If you can see, it was a change request now. So now it has open approval request, approval change request, right? So it was not in the form of change request, guys. Now what we need to do? So if you can see, we have done till open record. That means whenever the record is getting opened, it was opening in other table. I'll show you by manual ones. Change space schema. Okay, I'm opening all the changes. I'll pick the one what we have created. So I'm opening this record. So here there are two things are there. So I have applied a filter. Two approvers are there. I have applied a filter, change manager, and so I'll go with this. Then what happens? I'll type enter. Only one record has given. So now, guys, we have requested here, right? And we are from here manually. What we can do is we can directly change the state or something else directly from the list view. But it was a limitation for ATF, guys. So for this, what we need to do? We need to open the record, right? So if you can see which table it is now, as it was a change request page, the table name is change request only, guys, right? So if you can see here, change request is the table name. So if I can open this record, the table name is changed to sys approver table, guys, right? So that means our test is going on change request table. If you can see here, the table name is change request. Now it's time for to change the table name. Why? Because once we have opened this change request approval, it was changed the table name as sys approver table. For now, what we need to do, for example, there is a limitation here from the list view, right? So the way is to open the record and we can change here the state like approved, and we can approve or reject or update, anything is fine, right? So first of all, you can click on approved. You can change your state as an approved. You can give a comment if you want, otherwise it will be okay. So then click on approve button here. Then what happens? Go back to our change request and refresh this one's page. See, guys, it was approved and the change state, the change state is went to authorize. Right? So now we can see here other requests are also came. So till here we'll do now, guys. So we have opened a record in change request, right? Don't confuse, guys. If I am doing something, if the table names is very important, see the table names once. So what we need to do, we need to set the values, right? Set field values, as that was a field, right? That is the reason I'm taking set the field values, right? So here I'm setting the field values, and if you can check, the table name is coming by default as change request. So do we need to set the values in change request? No, right? We need to set the values in sys approval table, right? Then what you need to do is you can just change the table name as sys approval table. Okay, this is the table what we are looking for earlier, right? So you can pick this one and change the state to, we need to set the state, right? Guys, please do the please do your exercises, please do your uh practice for these things, guys. This is very important. Wherever your window is going, right, the table name should be matched. If doesn't, it won't work, it will fail, right? So field value, I can take it as I have changed the table name as approval table from change request. As we have already discussed, we have, when once the record has been opened, the table name has been changed, right? So now the field value needs to be set it as approved, right? I'm submitting this record. Then what we need to do, we need to click an UI action, right? Where UI action is available on the same approval table is available, right? So click UI action, you can take click UI action, click a UI action, then pick next. So then if you can observe here, the table name is a sys approval approval table only, right? Then you can change your, you can give your UI action as approve. Just enter. We have multiple approves are available. So we need to take first one in prior, then submit. Once the approver has been given, what happens is it was redirected to authorized state. So we'll see whether it was getting redirected or not, whether it was approving or not. We can see this, guys. So go back to here. We are using a custom US first, then opening and change request, open F by using a open a form, then setting a field values. If you can observe here, then also we are giving a setting a field values. It will come set field values. Again, we can see setting a field values, right? So then we are submitting a form. Once the form has been submitted, it will move to assess state. Till here approvers are not came. Once approver has came, then our execution will start.
Hi, Pavan.
Yeah, sure, below.
Sorry to interrupt you. Which type of change it is? Is it emergency or a standard or normal?
It's a normal change.
Normal change.
Yes.
But we need approvals, right? For this?
Yeah, that's what right we are doing. If you can see here, till approvers are not came. Why? Because the state has not changed to SS. So once SS state has came, then approvers will automatically comes here. If you can observe here now in the next step,
Okay.
so we will get to approvers. So by opening a records and giving an approvers is whatever we are discussing right now. So if we can see now, yeah, the state is changed to SS, then approvers came place here, right? So directly in the manual way, what we can do, we can change the state from the list view, right? So from ATF, we are not able to change our states from list view. So for that, what we need to do, we need to apply a filter conditions, then we can open a record, so that we can open a record, right? So once the record has been opened, till here we are in change request form, right? Once this record has been opened, what happens, if you can see here, filter conditions has been applied. By using these filter conditions, we can able to open the, we can able to calculate which records do we need to open in our particular related list or list, right? We have given this earlier we have a 2, right? Now it has came 1, right? So for this we have given a filter conditions. We will open this record. So once the record has been opened, the table has been changed. Why? Because this was the table name is, the records table name is sysapproval table name. So if you can see, earlier we have a change here. Now we can see as approval. So the state is requested, then I have given approved, then I am clicking on approve. Then automatically it will approve. See here, it has been approved, right? Got it, Sharmila?
Yes, Pawan.
Yeah. Okay. So till here we are good, guys. So what we need to do now? Now we have this record. So I want to change something in my record. I want to update my description, test, and I'll update the record. I'm opening the same record. So see, now the approvers has been increased, right? So for this, what we need to do, as an ATF, we have done by clicking, by giving approval, right? So once the approval has been given, it was automatically redirecting to the page. So we will give a step called setting a field values. I want to update my description. So basically why I am taking this, guys. So after giving an approval, there is some more, I can say there is something needs to be update on our particular form. So then what we need to do? Why? Because I am taking this step, right? So I have taken the step called set field values, right? But once the approver has been clicked, once the approver UI action has been clicked, it was redirecting to the change form again, right? So for that, what we need to do? If we give the set file field values here in the table, sys approval table, it will work? No, right? So you can change your table name as change request, then only it will pick. So one once the window, uh, keep in your mind always, observe the last window, where it was going and where it was stopping, in which table it was going, in which fields we need to update. So then we'll able to know that how to change the table names. So you can have a perfect knowledge on tables, which tables you are playing around, right? So I want to update description as change approver, change approvals, ATF test. So guys, I have changed my table name as change request. Why? Because it was redirected to the change request, right? Then I'm submitting this record. If we can see, so do practice, guys. Why I'm saying this much of slow, right? If you got how the windows has been changed and which tables you need to work on, and for on which, how to open our record from the list or related list, if you get to know this. Why? Because most of your ATFs are working around this only. That's why I'm taking this concept and saying this much of slow, right? So even though you can feel it as tricky, but it was a easy, guys. Trust me, if you can do practice, it was very easy, right? The disadvantage of ATF is this one only, guys. So if we have updated even one step also, you need to run your ATF again and again, right? The same time will take. When once you once you have to run your test, you can't skip your steps from starting. For example, you have updated a 50th step or 60th step, you need to check whether that was working fine or not, right? So at the time, what we need to do, we need to run our test from starting itself. You are not supposed to jump your test steps from 49 to 50. From step 1 it will count. We need to come from starting itself. That is the disadvantage of ATF also. So but it will cover regression, guys. If we can see, we are in the new, then we are in the access, we'll go to the authorized schedule. All the change flow will cover in a single test, guys. That means we are doing all regression here. We are performing regression test here, right? So on a change request, your organization using too much, then automatically your regression has been completed in a single test script. For example, on change, we have 50 stories are revolving around, like changing these things and adding a related list, everything. So we can do all your 50 stories in single script, guys. See, if you can see here, we have approved then authorized. So I want to upgrade my description now, right? I have given a description as change request description. It will accept or not. It was not getting um, fixed. I mean, not setted. Why? Why? Because the step has not been taken yet. Now it has came. Then if you can go here, we are submitting the record. We are updating the record, right? Yeah, it has setted, guys. So how it was set? Even though we have taken, if you can observe here, even though we have taken sysapproval table set field values. Why? Why? Because whenever we have opened a record, it was opening sysapproval table. Then that is the reason I have changed the table name as sysapproval table. Then we are clicking a UI action as approval. Once we have clicked on approve UI action, what it was happening directly, it was redirecting to the change request. I mean, change page, guys. Then I need to update something on my form, so I have taken a change request table here. So whenever the window has been changed, whenever the form has been changed, you need to update your table. That is the main concept why I am giving this thing, why I have updated. So now till here we are okay. So now what we need to do is we need to click a UI action called update, right? Why? Because once we have given a description or short description, we need to click on update, right? Then I'm giving the click UI action on the same table, guys. Click a UI action. Next, change request only. I'm taking update here. Update an existing records. Then submit. Once we can click on the update, what usually happens, it will go to the list view, right? If you can see here, it will go to a list view. We need to open our record from list view. So for that, what we need to do is we need to take add test step, all steps, open an existing record. Which record we need to open, guys? Whatever we have taken at the last. I mean, 14 steps. Now, whatever update we have taken. So you need to take 14. This record we need to open, right? That is the reason I'm taking this record. Then I'm opening this existing record, then submit. Till here, what happens? Till here, we came here, right? We have opened this thing. So now we have approved only one approval from the previous things. Now we have another approvals are also there. So now what we need to do, we need to approve this request. I mean, whatever the things are available, whatever assignment group are for cab approval, those members needs to approve. Then only the state will change to scheduled, right? For this, what we need to do, whatever we have done earlier. So if you can see here, to open a record, to open a record from our list view, what we have done. So first of all, we need to apply the filter conditions, right? Once the filter conditions has been applied, then automatically we can go there and we can approve the record. So if we can see till here, request approval on the change form, then we have applied the filters to the list only. So we have taken this list and we have opened a record in a list. The same process we need to do again. Why? Because we have already approved earlier in the access state to get authorized. Now it's time for schedule. We need to authorize this thing as well. So now the same steps needs to be repeated as we have already opened an existing record wherever the latest update has been completed. This is the latest update, guys. Till we have came back and we have updated our description, then we have clicked on the update. Once we have clicked on the update, we are opening the same record, guys, right? Then automatically approvers will came here. So for this, what we need to do, which filter conditions we need to do, we need to give. So here what we need to do is I'm taking an add test step, applying filter conditions, apply filter conditions to the list, taking next, right? Now it's the type of list only, related list only. Okay. Then the table name is change request itself, but the related list is not affected CA. We have approvers. So give approvers. Which filter conditions we need to give now? So as we have seen this, the approver is Ron, Kristen, and whoever the cab approval. Johnson, cab approver, and Braden Lobby and Luke Wilson. So I need to open this cab approval record now, right? So for this, what we need to do is, guys, in a filter conditions, the approver name should be a cab approver. I will give this first. So whatever we are doing, I'm giving here as well. So filter conditions is nothing but like this only, guys. Cab approver, right? So I have given this filter condition, and the assignment group is cab approval. Created on the last minutes. Why it was not taking? Spelling mistake, huh? Oh, okay. I'm giving a spelling mistake here. Cab in place of cab. B, it was taken as N. Typo error. So if you can see, I have given the filter conditions. Then all, even though we have 8 records are available, now we have given the filter conditions. Only one record get fetched. So similar thing we need to do here. So I am taking the same thing from here. What I'm giving an approver as cab approver. Take approver first is cab approver. You can select it from here. You can take this, and then which conditions I can give. Assignment group or assignment group is cab approval. Filters assignment group. Assignment is group is not getting displayed. Okay. Okay. So we'll check the backend name. So for now, it will remove this thing, guys. So we need to do the dot walking. So assignment group is not getting visible, guys. So for that reason, what we need to do, we need to check the backend name of assignment group. Then only we will get to know whether it was. For example, you struck somewhere in by using ATF. What we need to do, even though you have, we have a displayed fields are available on the list or somewhere, right? So still we are unable to fetch that name. So why? Because we don't know the perfect field name, the backend name. So at that time you need to connect with your developer and ask your developer, can you please give me the backend name of your the field? Otherwise you can check how we have already discussed. Go to the form and show relatedly, open your dictionary, then from there you can open, right? So I'm giving created on last minute. I'm submitting this record. Once we have applied the filter conditions, what we need to do, guys, we need to open a record, right? The same record needs to be opened. We have given the filter conditions here. Now what we need to do, we need to open the same record. So from ATF perspective view, how it is opening, it was opening like this. it was clicking, or it was opening a record from here. Now again it was went to the approval table, right? Once we have opened the record, again it was went to the approval table. The same procedure, like set the field values in approval table and approve here. So we'll do it quickly. So we have applied a filter conditions. Then what we need to do is open a record in a list. Next, which record do we need to open now? Whatever the filter conditions has been applied for this particular list. The last is applied filter conditions, this one, right? We need to open the same record, right? That is the reason I have taken this record. So then I have opened the same record. So after opening the same record, what we are doing, we need to set the field values and on the sys approval table. Then we need to click a UI action on approve, right? The same thing we need to do again. Setting a field values. Next, then here the table name is change request. Change the table name as sys approval table. Why? Because after opening a record, it was going to the sys approval table. State as approved. Submit. Then click a UI action on approve. Click a UI action. Which UI action we need to click? We need to click on approve. Take first one and submit. Once the approval has been completed, it will redirect to the same. We can go through the manual once. Approved, approve. It was redirecting to the page, guys, to the normal change request page. Then we need to click on the implement, right? So what we need to do, it was redirected to here and we need to click on the implement. So then what we need to do is, here we have taken the sys approval table, right? After clicking on approve, it was redirecting to the change request page again, right? So it's time for changing the table name. Click, we need to click on UI action, right? But here, which UI action we need to click? We need to click on implement, right? Once we click on implement, it will went to the implement. But here what we have done, we are clicking implement button on system change request table again, guys. So make sure the table name should be changed to change request again, right? So which we action we are clicked, we have clicked on implement. Only one implement is available on a change request table. So we are taking that step. I'm submitting this record. So now we will run the test, guys. Observe this carefully, guys. From step number, at least from step number 10 to 11. Why? Because we have run multiple times till step number 12, 13. After that, we have taken multiple steps, right? So guys, this is most important exercise, guys. If you go through this recording again and again, that will be helpful for you. Almost 20 to 30% of your ATF will covered only from this session only. However, we need to play around on your particular forms. You will get to know from the same session. Opening a record from the related list and changing something and observing a table names. Whenever we are clicking on something, it was redirecting to the some other pages, right? So then we need to quickly change our table name, and then once the table name has been changed, then only we can give a values on the particular table. So basically, if I give the table name as sys approval, I mean change request, change underscore request, but I want to give state as approve, but here there is no approve in our state, right? It won't pick. So wherever the logic has been built, I mean wherever the table, in which table which fields are suitable, the logic has been built, right? So ATF will know only on the table particular field available, particular field is available. For example, state is available. On the state we have approve, we have reject, we have something else, right? On the sys approval table. But if we can see the state on our change request, what we usually do, it will change the state on our particular page only. It will not change the field name, state name on sys approval table. For that, what we need to do, we need to change our table name to sys approval table. Then it will calculate, it will get to know, okay, we are going to sys approval table, the field needs to be updated in sys approval table itself, right? Filter conditions has been applied for the first record. Yeah, if you can see here, approval table has been opened. Then we have approved, then we are clicking on approve UI action here. It was redirecting to the change request again. If you can see, the state has been changed to authorize. Now what we are doing, we are filling our description here, right? After filling our description, we are clicking on update. So if you can see, guys, now the description has been updated successfully. It it will, we are clicking on a UI action on update. Yes, see, we have opened the same record again. See guys, there is no record found. Why? Because it was not clicked on all, right? So we have applied our filter conditions. The ATF script will fail now, right? We are not able to open our record. Why? Why? Because even though we are giving our approvals also, it was not taking, because of we already applied a filter conditions earlier, right? That is the reason it won't, it was not picking up. For this, what we need to do now, we have alternate methods. Like if you can see, it was failed. Why? Why? Because it was a batch through error. That means if you can read out, fail to open a record ID with approval for related list in the change request form, record is not present. So that means what happens is, once we have applied a filter conditions here, right, we have matched, we have already given the filter conditions with this record, then we have unable to click on the all or something else, right? That is the reason it was failed, right? So for this, what we need to do now, we have multiple options are available. That was, we can query the record from the backend itself, and we can open an execution record, then we can do it directly. So I will show you the alternate method first. I'll open the record. Why it has failed, guys? Are you guys getting why it was failed? So if I can show here, I am picking this thing. So I already gave filter conditions like this. I have already given the filter conditions like this in the earlier record. Again, I'm coming back to my page, and already filter conditions has been given. If I'm accepting this record also, even though if I'm coming back to the record, I'll quickly show you. See, the same approvals has been came, right? If we can observe here, the same record what we have seen earlier, that is the reason it was not getting picked. So as it was, the filter conditions name starts with cab approval, that is the reason it was showing us twice. So earlier we have something else, right? That is the reason we are not able to open the particular record. So for this, what we need to do, we need to follow the alternate method. For that, what we can do is, apply filter conditions. We can false from here. This one, yeah. I I can make this as a false. This one, this one. I'm making this as a false. Now, guys, we have an alternate method. That is, if we can go to sys approval table also, sys approval. Otherwise, I can pick this one. I'll open the table name directly. You can copy this table and come back here, paste here, and dot list. We are opening this table, right? So from here we can able to fetch this as well, right? So for that, what we need to do is we need to query the record from the sys approval table. Then we can directly open this here. Otherwise, we can query in list view of sys approval table, not from the related list, right? So that was a lengthy process. So what we need to do is we can directly use record query, whether the record has been available on particular table or not, right? So I'm adding a step and giving after 15. We can adjust later if I can pick this wrong. The table name is, oh sorry, I'm taking an add new form. Why? All steps, record query, take record query, next. But table name is, we are querying the record. What is the use of record query, guys? We are querying the records in particular tables. We will use the record query. So I am taking sys approval table approvers. So now whatever the conditions we have given, approver is cab manager, cab approval. I can type with cab approver and created on last minute. Submit. I have make these as false, guys, applying a filters to the list. And now where it was went, where is our record query? Oh, the order has not been taken. So change the order. Make this step as 16. So now step number 16 as record query. Then add a step Open existing record. After record query, insert after step number 16, then click on next. Which record we need to take? We need to take record query 1, right? Then submit. Right, we have applied a record query, then open an existing record, then make these two as a false. Yeah, that's fine. Then once the record has been opened, we need to set the field values, right? So as usual, what we need to do is I'm making this step as true. Why? Because it will open the same page on the sysapproval table. Then I'm making this as also true on sysapproval table. So now we will run, guys. Once I'll refresh whether the record has been updated as per our changes or not. Okay, I have made this true. It was done, updated. These two are false. Only apply filters to the list, open a record in a list. These two are false. Fine. Okay, I'll run the test now. Earlier one, why it has failed, I'll show you guys. Observe after step number 10 or 11. What record queries usually do, guys? It will query the record. For example, I have a record in particular table, XYZ table. If I have given the table name as XYZ and I want to query whether that record has been available on that particular table or not, it will use to fetch the table, right? So if you are seeing here, till now we are, so here guys, why that was failed now? We already applied a filters here, right? Once the filters has been applied, we haven't clicked on all or something else here to show all the records. Once the filters has been applied, it will show only the particular records where we have given which filter has been given, right? See guys, if you can see here, requested whatever the filter conditions we have given, that only available here, right? Then we have opened the same record. So basically, record query is an backend operation, guys. It was a server-side steps. We are not able to view our server-side steps in our client test runner, right? It has been opened, and now we will give description and we'll update the record. See here, guys. This is the reason why you are not able to give. So once this on the same window, we are stuck, right? So if we can give here the filter conditions, the records are not visible now. That is the reason it was not able to pick the records. So if we can click here or here, then all records are available, all approvals, 8 approvals are available. Then applying filter conditions will work it out. Now already we have given the approval approved, right? So we need to erase these filter conditions now. That is the reason it was not picking up at this time. What you need to do, you need to give a record query. So we have given the description and we'll click on the update. So if we can see, guys, now it will updated, it was updated, open an existing record. Yes, it was open an existing record here. So if you can see, now record query will takes place, but record query won't available on our client test runner as it was a server side step. Only it will query the record from the back end in database, whether the record has been existed or not, it will query. That's it, right? Otherwise it won't. See, we are not able to see also. Once the execution has been completed, once the query has been taken, then it will pass. Otherwise the record is not available, it will fail, guys, right? So guys, it was failed again because record query, there is no records or matching with the approver is equal to cab approver on the last minute. I'll do one thing, I will give more filters. I'll give updated as current minute update. Which filter conditions we can give from here? Cab approver is not there. Approvers, no. It was there, no. State is requested. I'll update the state as requested. I will update the state as I'll give state as requested and state is requested. Cab Cab approval is there, no? Mhm. Okay, I'll update the record. I'll check whether this was updated or not. Then we'll see. Yeah, it was updated. So what error we have given, guys? It was not able to catch the record. So I have changed the particular field conditions. So now, if I can see here, this approval table. What is this? This is approval table. Okay. Okay. I will run this step test again. Let's see it will work or not. So this is the problem, guys. So this is the problem. Once you have breaked your step right, or your test script right, you need to spend more time to investigate why it was failed, and if the conditions doesn't match, then also it will fail. Everything you need to take care of, right? So if we can see now, till now we are in a applying a filter conditions, huh? Okay. So guys, do practice, huh? If you do practice this thing, it was very useful, guys. This is a very useful session for you all. So see, it was approved. The filter conditions has been taken like this only. That is the reason we have stuck there. So if you are able to see all the records from by clicking here, we can apply the filters also, right? So if we can see which step is executing now. So it was, yeah, updating of description and short description now. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, it was open the existing record. Okay. It was failed again. Why it was failed? Record is not getting matched, guys. That is the reason it was failing again and again. If we are querying the record, but it was not able to fetch the record from there. Validate there is at least one records is approval table matching. Approved name contains cab approver created in the last minute state is requested. If I can remove this, if I can give other approvers like I'll give cab approval as
Current
what?
time limit, is it going to work out over there to rectify that error?
Which one, Divya?
This one only created on current minute you have deleted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Created, if you mention created on current minute and created on last minute, if we mention is that like or option, if it's mentioned that one is going to work out, or like we give some time limit also, that in some scenario it will work out, right?
Yeah, timeout also will work it out. But actually, for querying the record, the time doesn't
Okay.
consume. Why? Because it was not that much of records are available, right? If I can change the
Okay.
timeout, actually it will work for timeout also, but something
Yeah.
is missing. That was, I will increase the timeout.
Can you give any unique name over there? Can we
Yeah,
mention any unique name?
yeah. That's what I want to change now. I don't want to take cap approver.
Yeah.
I will take one more name as is look coming for our records or not. We need to check. So if someone is
Either
not,
like
sorry.
either Bernard or like Luke, anyone can approve, right?
Yes. Anyone can approve, but actually
Okay.
whatever the records we are taking now, if look is not coming, then it will
Okay.
waste, right? That is the reason.
You're talking about in that tab approval, if loop is not available in that scenario, it doesn't work like that. You are telling?
Yeah, it will query, even though it will query, but still we are not able to do that. I mean, we are not in that particular form. It was not opening, right?
Yes.
Then how he can approve? The approval is waste of time, right? We need to approve on this particular change request, then only the flow will go ahead. Why? Because we already given the further steps also, like for uh, uh, after querying the record, what we are usually doing, we are opening a record, then automatically it was reverting back to the change request, right? Then we are clicking on the implement. So on that
Mhm.
particular change request, the approver is not available, it won't work. That is the reason, right? If the timeout error is there, in in the error
Mhm.
itself, it will show it as a timeout error, right?
Time out. Okay.
There is no match is found, like that it won't comes, right? It will
Like
directly show.
after record query, right? We are supposed to give open an existing record.
Hmm. Yeah, we can.
Okay. But before we can't do open an existing record.
Sorry.
Before record query, we can't mention open an existing record, right?
Yes, why? Because we haven't opened any record, right? So
Okay.
whichever the record is getting queried, we need to open that particular record only. We are not supposed to open other records, right? That is the reason.
I'm just trying to figure it out if I can.
Yeah, that is the reason, right? Once your script is getting break, that is the challenge what you are getting. So even though I'm
Yeah.
giving a filter conditions perfectly, right, still we are unable to catch this. Why? Because the something is missing here. The figure out.
Even if it's just in one step, we need to figure it out from initial step, right?
Yeah, that is the drawback here, right? So we need to wait till the things will get open. My goodness, time is 10:30. Okay, if it works, then okay, then I'll run it again. I don't want to waste everyone's time on this. We'll give a last try. So if the loop is there for multiple records, right? So if it was picking the loop, have I changed the name to loop or not? So the current minute needs to be given. Why? Because there are multiple records with the same approval might exist, right? That is the reason.
Mm. Sometimes we are supposed to mention last minute also, right? Parallelly with the current minute, or we will be using OR functionality and then we will be using last minute also.
Yeah, actually, I will not suggest use OR functionalities. Why? Because whether the record is there or not, if we pick, if one condition also gets matched, then it will open any of the record, right? So use as much as end conditions, then automatically it will fetch your perfect record only. Whatever the filter conditions will match exactly, then on the record will gets open. If you use or write, there might be another records will exist on the same table. There is a chance to
Okay.
open other things, other records also. So if you are supposed to open other records, there is no use, no.
Okay. Mhm.
If it works, then okay, then I'll figure it out where I have breaked. We have alternate methods also, apart from the record query. Why? Because we can clear the filters by retrieving. We have n number of ways. We can use click components, and we can click on directly approval for here. Then automatically records will fetch. Then we'll open an existing record. Then you can apply your filter conditions. That is the method. Otherwise, we can clear the filters also. There are n number of ways. Why? Because why I want to show this, right? There is a record query, how we can use record query steps here, how the record will query exactly, and how we can open from the after querying the record. That is why I'm using this thing. So ServiceNow recommendation is record query needs to be used in the steps, starting steps. But here the starting steps won't execute, right? The record won't be able to fetch there. That is the reason I'm using in between. It was failed again, huh? No, it was passed this time. So the cab approval records are not getting open. Yeah, if you can see, it was passed. It will fail again. Why? Can anyone say? Why? Because approved change request has been given for other record, not for this record. That is the reason. Even though we have passed the record query step, right? The current minute we haven't given. If you can see, guys, implement button is not getting displayed there. Why? Because we have not approved this thing. This particular record we haven't approved. So for that, what we need to do is we can add a current minute or last minute here, right? And the current minute. Otherwise I'll use or won't work, sir. I need to use current minute and only. Created. Oh,
Created on.
yeah. Now it will work.
Last 2 hours. So, yeah.
I will minimize the time here by false, keeping false these two records. Got the logic, guys? Why it was failed? So here, unable to find the UA action implement. That means we have not approved the record for this particular record. We have opened other record. Why? Because there is multiple records will appear on the name of Luke. So that is the reason we are unable to fetch these things. So I'll minimize the time by using these things. Okay. Now it will quickly run. I think current minute was not picking. That is the failure. If it fails again, the current minute was not picking. Then we can give relative operator there. We can use that method as well. So guys, this is the most important thing in your ATF, guys. Once you have breaked, once your script is getting breaked right, then you will see a lot of problems, right? My goodness, it was approving the change here, 25. Why it was getting now here in the things? That means time is taking too much. We have approved earlier 300025, but now it was coming. Hmm, was something is missing. Earlier, what happens is there is no pop-ups will came for earlier previous records. Now in Xanadu versions, I'm seeing it newly. Previous records also getting fetched, even though it was going through the ATF. I will raise the ticket for this. This is the point what I have observed newly in Xanadu. Debugging skills is most important, guys. As a tester, as a ATF tester, debugging skills is most important. If you are stuck somewhere, why it was getting break, even though that was that seems to silly, but it will consume lot of time. Why? Because if we have updated something, we need to raise, we need to go here, we need to run again and again. So that is why. So for this mistake, we can't use debug also. Why? Because we know what mistake we are doing. Although even though we have given the perfect things, still we are unable to see approved change request authorized. Now it might come. Hope for the best. Now it will pick or not. Current minute. If it fails, the current minute is not picking. That is the problem. Finished. I think it was failed again. Huh? No. Yeah, it was picked. It will pass now. Here we can see the change approving the change request is 26, whatever we are doing right now. So guys, if you can see, we have clicked on implement, then it will went to the schedule, right? Now it was success. Huh? Yeah, gotcha. See guys, this is how it works. So make sure once you are breaking somewhere right, that will consume your time. But this is a simple mistake what I have done. Some at that time it was not picking. I have updated the other things, then it was working, right? I don't know why error has been came. Earlier also I have given the perfect things. Every thing I has given. Why cab approver is not getting picked? I don't know. Right? I have changed. I have tried other alternate option. It works. Here the thing is cab approval is there earlier. Now I have changed as a Luke Wilson. It works. Earlier it won't. Okay, that's all for today, guys. If anyone having any doubts on applying a filters, querying a records, please let me know. Everyone